Hey guys, welcome back. Dr. T living your best life here in the Philippines. Right now I'm out on the beach in Bohol. Just hitting the beach a little bit before the gym. Normally I do the beach after the gym, but anyway, thought I'd go for a little stroll, wake myself up, and then I'll hit the beach and do a little walk and talk while I'm doing that here. And what I wanted to talk about was the topic of, is the Philippines and Filipinas in general being westernized slash ruined by Western influence? So let's talk about that. So, like I said, I'm going to base this on things that I see, people I talk to. My girlfriend is always a good resource because she's obviously Filipina, so I get her input and then input from her friends, etc. So alright, so the topic kind of came up the other day, made me think about it. Her and I were talking, and she made the comment that some of her friends have this attitude that they said, if Western guys are going to come here and basically they want a maid, in their opinion, they said, why don't they just stay in their home country then? Like, kind of like, we don't want them if that's what you're looking for. So her and I got to talking about that, and it just kind of made me think about this subject in general of, so let's stop and think about that for a second. How does that sound in your mind when you hear that? Oh, if you want a maid, why don't you just stay where you're at? That to me sounds an awful lot like stuff that Western women say, that American women say, right? I'm not your maid, I'm not your housekeeper, I'm not going to cook for you and clean for you, and that's not my job. It's 50-50. And even then, really, Western women don't want 50-50. They want more like 80-20 or 90-10 type of split. So yeah, where do you think that influence is coming from? Honestly, it's coming from the Western influence. The girls here, and really most people in general in the Philippines, are addicted to social media. I know a lot of the world in general is addicted to social media, but I've noticed in the Philippines even more so than America, these girls are addicted to their phones. They can't put them down for 10 seconds. So what do you think they're watching? TikTok videos of Western women, American women. You've probably seen them. They all put out this horrendous dating advice. Girl, I wouldn't put up with that. If he won't do it, find someone who will. That's like the new catchphrase that they're using in all their videos. If he won't do it, find someone who will, girl. You're a boss, babe. You're in charge. You go, girl. And they're filling these girls' minds with this worst dating advice you could possibly imagine. And when you're inundated with that crap, I'm not saying everybody, right? I'm just saying it affects you, right? It's kind of like it crossed my mind the other day because I don't know why, I'm trying to break that habit now because I noticed it actually affected me. I got into the habit of starting I was catching up on some political things in America because the election is coming up this year. So I started following some of that. And honestly, I noticed it just started putting me in a bad mood because it's all negative and one side hates the other. And it's just the propaganda and nonsense. So it weighs on you, honestly. And so what I'm saying by saying that is social media affects people more than you want to think that it does. And so when these girls are online 24/7 and getting the worst possible dating advice from these Western women of, hey, that's not your job isn't to cook and clean, you should be a boss, babe, and get out and make your own money, and it's a 50-50 split. Eventually, I think some of these girls specifically, like I said, this isn't a made-up scenario. This is talking to my girlfriend about her friends saying, we don't want to date a foreigner like that. right? We want a modern relationship. That's their new thing that they're starting to say. We want a modern relationship where it's 50-50. And if you're a Western woman looking at this, or a feminist, you're going to blow my comments up with crazy stuff. But just hear me out, guys. Hear me out. And girls. Western and non-Western women. Hear me out here. This is my logic. I've mentioned this on a couple other videos. I still work. Like I said, this YouTube channel doesn't bring anything really. And I still work. One, I like doing it. Gives me something to do, honestly. But I still work. Some days I work for like 4 hours a day. Some days it takes me an hour or two, but in general, I'd say on average, I work at least 2 hours per day. So when I'm sitting around working for 4 hours a day in the morning, and let's say I have a girlfriend, which I do, and she lives with me, what is she gonna do? Sit there and watch TV while I'm working to pay 100% of the bills and 100% of everything and 100% of expenses and buy things and have this great lifestyle? What's she gonna do? Surf Facebook? And what I'm saying about that's not a male chauvinistic thing. I'm sure, like I said, if you're a Western woman or a feminist, you're gonna hear that and say, oh my God, he just wants a maid. No, I'm saying in exchange, this is the way my mind works. I work and I pay 100% of everything for someone to have a very, very nice lifestyle. Big deal if they have to clean up the house for 30 minutes while I'm working for 4 hours. I don't eat breakfast and I don't eat lunch. I do intermittent fasting. I'll talk about that on another video. So I'll have a couple protein shakes throughout the day, which obviously doesn't require someone to make them for me. So it's not like I require a lot of effort. I live in a small house. It literally takes about 30 minutes in the morning to clean up. So what I'm saying, it is a 50-50. It's a trade-off, right? I'm not cooking, I'm not cleaning, but I'm also paying 100% of everything. That's how it used to work in America back in the 50s and 60s. I'm sure a lot of us growing up, right? That's what we grew up with. My mom, for the most part, she held jobs on and off throughout her life, but when we were younger, she stayed home, took care of the family, cooked, cleaned, kept a great house, made dinners all the time. Every night there was dinner on the table. I'm sure most of us probably grew up in that sort of household, right? And then fast forward into the late 90s, I guess, really is when all this kind of really started taking hold in America, at least, where feminism really got more and more foothold on the culture. And then it became this thing of, we want to have these careers and we want all this, and then we also expect our husband, or maybe they don't even have careers, maybe they expect their husband to cook, clean, and take care of the bills, etc. We've all had those crazy relationships, right, in the West. I don't want to share bad relationship stories with you guys, but you know, we've all probably been in those relationships where you're paying all the bills or a large percentage of the bills, and your significant other is expecting you to cook, clean, take care of the house, do all this other crazy stuff, and then you're kind of like, what are you doing exactly? And I'm going to do some reaction videos with my girlfriend and some Filipinas to kind of show what their thoughts are on dating advice that these women put out. The new slogan is, I don't know if you guys have seen these videos, they ask girls in America, what do you bring to the table? Their response is, I am the table. Think about the lunacy in that. Meaning, basically, I could bring nothing at all. I contribute zero in any capacity at all, but you should just be happy and privileged that you're with me. That's their mindset. So, again, this isn't a generalization, right, that I'm saying that people in the Philippines are getting that westernized, but you are starting to see it to some extent. Let me get past this guy so I don't bother him. You are starting to see it. But, big but here. I will say a large majority of them still have that very, I'll call it old-fashioned mindset. Old-fashioned for us in the West. Like I said, 50s, 60s mentality. A lot of girls here, they're raised very differently than Western women. They're actually told, like my girlfriend, for example, she said her mom and her dad would tell her, you're a girl, you need to know how to cook, you need to know how to clean. And their parents teach them how to cook, they teach them how to sew, they teach them how to do all sorts of things around the house. And I've talked to people and they were told growing up that your job as a girl is to be a good mother and be a good wife. And what that means is taking care of your husband, cooking, cleaning, taking care of him and making sure everything is smooth and running great in the house. And in return, he does the same for you, right? Like I said, it's a trade-off. It's not a male chauvinist thing. It's not a dominance thing. It's not a who's in charge or who's the boss. It's not anything like that. It's going back to old-fashioned values. And I myself, that is one of the big reasons I came here. And if you're watching this video, that's probably one of the reasons that you're thinking about coming here. So just know that it does still exist here. It really does. And from what I see, it exists more in the province areas, which kind of ties into what I was saying on one of my older videos, province versus city. And again, generalizations, right? My girlfriend is from Cebu City. She is very, very, very much not a city girl. Even though she grew up in Cebu City, she was raised very, very traditional, kind of Catholic household and very traditional values. So it's not to say that just because someone's from a bigger city that they're going to be Westernized. That's not what I'm saying at all. But there's a chance of it. There's a chance of it. So we are starting to see that. And we are starting to see, like I talked about on my allowance video, that mindset of a lot of women here kind of expecting that. And I do want to expand on that actually, because somebody posted, and it ties into this, right? Because I think that's kind of a Western concept, at least in my opinion, right? To pay for things. Somebody posted on a expat group the other day, I don't know if it had any relationship to my video, but someone just posed the question of how many of you give your girlfriend or wife an allowance. And it was a real mixed bag. I'd say 60%, maybe, I don't know, maybe 50-50. I didn't like tally it up or anything, right? A lot of people said no, unequivocally no, they just don't. And then a lot of people said yes, and the amounts varied all over the place, anywhere from 5,000 pesos up to what I think is a lot, personally, 30 to 40,000 pesos a month. And then a lot of people just commented, well, we're married, and so my wife has full access to our accounts. And it's kind of all over the map. And like I said on that video, guys, it's your money. Do what you want with it. It's none of my business, right? But someone asked in the comments on that video how I handle it. And I didn't really answer it in the video. I kind of posted a written response. So I'll tell you, this is my thoughts. And again, it ties into this Western mindset. This is my thoughts. Like I said, I lead a very... not a rich for the Philippines, a very nice life here. I have two different places. I have a place in Bohol. I have a place over in Lapu-Lapu. I go back and forth every 3 or 4 weeks just to change it up. I do things like go out to eat a couple times a week. I travel. Have been on many 2-3 day excursions. We've been all over the place. So what I'm saying is, I lead a very pampered life here, which I'm very thankful for, of course. So, in return, like I said, it's a trade-off. if someone is going to cook and clean and get to have access to that great lifestyle and not have to work, in my mind, that's a great trade-off, right? That's an amazing trade-off. So I don't provide any kind of formal amount, but I'm also generous. I'm not stupid generous. I'm generous in that if she needs something, I'll get it. She doesn't ask for things. I actually had to tell her to stop asking for things, even little things. We'd be grocery shopping. Is it okay if I buy nail polish? And I would tell her, you don't have to ask to buy nail polish. It's 50 pesos or something like that. That's just silly. Don't do that, please. Like, I'm not a jerk is what I'm saying. It would be different if, like I said, if you feel like you're being taken advantage of, you probably are. If every time you go to the mall, your girlfriend is asking to buy a new outfit, you probably have a problem, in my opinion, right? You do what you want. Like I said, your money, but I personally wouldn't do it. I'm not saying I haven't been to the mall and bought my girlfriend things. I have. I've been to the mall and there was a sale on shoes, so I bought her a pair of shoes. No big deal. Not the end of the world. Again, my radar is really keen at detecting the BS. So I can tell real quick if someone's trying to take advantage, right? You're going to notice. Every time I go to the mall, is she asking for stuff? Is she always ordering stuff on Shopee or Lazada? Is she always, asking, let's go on a vacation, let's do this, let's do that. I need money for this or that or the other thing, right? You're going to notice those things. So that's the way I handle it. And again, good, bad, and different. That's just, it works well for us. Everybody handles it differently, right? Like I said on that video, but you are seeing more and more of that. And again, I think that's a little bit ties in with this, or a lot ties in with this, in my opinion, the Westernization of a little bit of the culture here, that mindset of, well, if I'm with a foreigner, they should not only provide me with this great lifestyle that I wouldn't ordinarily have, but they should also provide me with extra money that I should be able to just go and blow on shopping trips, etc. And that's my other logic. I posted this, I think in my response to someone on that video. This is kind of the reason I do that. It has nothing to do with cheapness. It's not like I'm a cheapskate, right? It has to do with, honestly, feeling taken advantage of and then questioning whether or not that person wants to be with you for love and they actually want to be with you, or if the allowance stopped, does that mean they're going to break up with you, right? Because that would be my question. So are you saying, let's just say for argument's sake, I gave you $0, would that mean that you wouldn't want to be with me, would be my question. So that's how I look at it. And the other way I look at it is this. I don't buy myself things on a weekly basis. I just don't. Like I said, I lead a very great life here. I'm out walking on the beach, and I'm going to go hit the gym. Very relaxed life. And I don't go buy myself new clothes, new shoes every week, not even every month. I just don't. So I don't even spend probably 2,000 or 3,000 pesos a month on extra just stuff. So that would be the purpose of the allowance. That's what I'm saying is, I asked somebody, what's the purpose of the allowance? If I'm providing 100% of all of someone's expenses, food, going out, vacations, etc. When they need something, I'm more than happy to get it. What would the extra money be for? To send back to their family? To buy lots of clothes? I'm not really sure what it would be for. That would be my question, and that's kind of how my brain works and my analysis, how I approach it. So that's just my take on it, guys. I hope that helps. But yeah, like I said, just know that it is becoming a little more westernized here right now. But you're still going to find lots and lots of people that have that mindset that you're really looking forward. Like I said, I think that's the reason most of us or one of the big reasons, at least, the contributing factors why a lot of us picked the Philippines or you're considering the Philippines. So yeah, don't think that it's just become this, you know, bastardized, westernized culture here, because it hasn't. But I am, like I said, I am seeing it. So, all right, guys, be sure to like and subscribe. Finally growing the channel. It's finally taken off. So, like I said, I do still have a lot of older videos I still need to go through and edit and upload. A lot of them are like travel videos and that type of stuff. So, all right, I hope that helps, and see you guys.